The International Court of Justice will continue hearing the case of Indian national Kulbhushan Jadhav, who was sentenced to death by a military court in Pakistan. India presented its arguments on Monday, saying that the Pakistan story was largely based on rhetoric. Harish Salve, senior advocate who is representing India's case at the court, said that Pakistan failed to give any specific evidence against Jadhav to connect him to any act of terror who Pakistan has accused of espionage. India had moved the International Court of Justice to block Jadhav's death sentence and maintains that he is only a retired army officer. Pakistan is scheduled to present their submissions today.
I will resist the temptation, sir, to engage with the allegations being made as to the passport issue and the legal assistance issue beyond saying it would really be for this court to decide in the first instance whether to what extent Pakistan should be allowed to use these hearings as a platform for propaganda without establishing the legal relevance of these wanton allegations. Pakistan is obviously embarrassed to disclose the judgment given in the Jadhav case, the specific charges against him, the evidence against him. And while the statement of the advisor on foreign affairs to the Prime Minister's office of Pakistan makes a slew of allegations against Jadhav in relation to the incidents that date back to 2014-15, the Pakistan story has always been strong on rhetoric and blurry on facts.
Well, Mirna, Deputy News Editor Meenakshi Bhanja joining me on the phone line. Meenakshi, India is hoping for two things. Of course, first, the annulment of the death sentence itself and then the immediate release of Kulbhushan Jadhav. Can you take our viewers through the main arguments made by Senior Advocate Harish Salve at the International Court of Justice?
Well, indeed, Afrida, this is a very high-stake matter for the government of India, which will go on to assume a lot of implications. And yesterday we saw about nearly 3 hours of arguments being presented by jurist Harish Salve, who essentially was focusing on 3 or 4 major points. Point one was this, as to how Pakistan has been constantly flouting Article 36 of the Vienna Convention, which says that being a purported spy is no exception to having access to consular feature. And secondly, India also focused on how, despite the intervention of the ICJ, the last time the family of Kulbhushan Jadhav, when it went to meet Jadhav in Pakistan, was treated in an extremely shoddy fashion.
Right.
It also relied upon the fact as to how the purported confession of Jadhav has been derived in a coaxed manner. There is no direct material evidence that exists which can justify Pakistan's argument of Jadhav being a spy. Of course, today is day 2 at the ICJ, where we will see Pakistan now put its position forward over before this August panel of the International Court of Justice. And
Yes.
subsequent to that, we will see India-Pakistan both get another opportunity to wrap up their arguments by way of concluding submissions. And in another 6 months' time, there is a final verdict that is going to come from the ICJ. But the interesting part here has been as to how Mr. Harish Salve himself has struck a very positive note yesterday.
Absolutely.
After having submitted his arguments before the ICJ. He said, and I quote, we will get justice. Unquote.
Absolutely. And he's also said that Pakistan has made wanton allegations. We just heard that little clip of Harish Salve. But I want to understand from you, Meenakshi, you said, in terms of the timeline, it's going to take 6 months for the final verdict to come out. But this is going to be a 4-day trial. India's side of the submissions have been made. Today, Pakistan will make its submissions. Following that, like you said, there will be an opportunity for both sides to make their counters and rebuttals. Now, this is coming at a time of heightened tension between the two countries. What is at stake here? It's not just the Kulbhushan case in that sense, isn't it? There's much more that the two countries have at stake.
Well, yes, absolutely, Afrida. The atmosphere is completely surcharged, and you correctly referred to the fact as to how tensions between India-Pakistan are perhaps at an all-time high. And for Pakistan, interestingly, we will also keep an eye whether Pakistan even attempts to raise the Pulwama incident, although it would be well advised to not do so because the issue at hand is pertaining to Kulbhushan Jadhav alone.
Yes.
But we have seen statements of Pakistan in the past pertaining to Pulwama Remember, Pakistan is facing, as we speak, international backlash. There are countries after countries assailing Pakistan on different forums for multiple reasons, be that Afghanistan, be that India, be that even the United States, which has stopped all aid to Pakistan and is talking tough to Pakistan pertaining to not giving access to terror outfits from operation within its own soil. So Pakistan is in the midst of it's finding itself in a very uncomfortable position internationally, and therefore for India it is very important that Kulbhushan Jadhav case attains an outcome which goes on to showcase to the international community furthermore the duplicity of actions of Pakistan and the words that Pakistan engages in.
Yes, because this is a face-off that is being fought in an international arena, and that's the significance of it all. Of course, Harish Salve has punched holes into the Pak rhetoric. Let's see how this progresses. We'll keep a close watch of all developments with you. Meenakshi, thanks for joining us.